Hey everybody, how we doing today? Back for another exciting episode on market manipulation. Today we're going to be talking about short selling. This is literally the bread and butter of the crime, where they make their massive amounts of money, and we're going to go through how that happens. One thing you should know about short selling is that the gains you can make are limited. It's from wherever the price of the stock is trading right now down to zero if it ever got there. That's the max you can make. On the flip side of that, the losses are literally limitless, and this is why it is feared on Wall Street and why they will literally stop at nothing to make sure it doesn't happen. And we're going to go through that. I'll give you a quick breakdown with a visual from my trusty whiteboard on how it works. And then we're going to go into how you and I can do it, Joe Blow Investor, how that works. And I'll probably have to break this into a second episode to show you how the institutional short selling works. And that's where the big trouble happens. There's a lot to unpack in this particular, what's the word I'm looking for, issue. So yeah, we'll start with the visual on how short selling works. So the idea behind short selling is that you make money on the decline in price of a stock. Yeah, that's a thing. And you can do it, I can do it, everybody can do it. There's a few caveats involved. You need to have enough collateral or margin in the financial world that they call it to cover your bet, but it can be done. So if you follow me along. So we have our stock trading at $10 currently. You think they're going to do bad based on, whatever fundamentals. They're not selling product, a whole lot of different reasons. So you think it's going to go down. So if you have any shares, you sell them. You sell them $10, you liquidate your account, it's gone. But you're really confident it's going to go down. So you go to your brokerage and you ask if you can borrow some shares. Now, at your brokerage, there's thousands of investors with thousands of shares of thousands of different stocks. So there's lots of them out there, so borrowing is not a problem. As long as you have enough in your account to cover what they deem you need, then it's not a problem. So what you would do is, in whatever stock, say it's trading at 10, you borrow 1,000 shares. You sell them. You now have $10,000. So you figure in the next little while, the stock is going to decline in price, and you know what? That's cool. So it's trading at 10. Within a couple of months, it goes down to say $7. So yeah, you're doing all right. So whenever you borrow these shares, there's an understanding that you got to return them. That's just how it works, right? You borrow, you got to return, hopefully at a lower price. So again, you borrowed for 10, sold 1,000, got $10,000. Within a couple of months, the share price went down to 7. You buy them back, that cost you $7,000. You made the spread between the 10 that you sold at and the 7 you bought back at. So when the short sell contract is done, you've made $3,000. Sounds pretty good, right? Absolutely. Awesome. Now, in the unlikely but possible event that, say, a stock company goes bankrupt, just for whatever reason, just any possible reason, goes bankrupt, the shares are now worth $0. There's literally no shares to buy back. You cannot return these shares because they're gone now. So the 10,000 you sold out, you get to keep. There's nothing to buy back. There's nothing to return. You made $10,000. Again, I say this happen, it's possible it could happen. It actually happens quite a lot more than you would think. But that's on the institutional short selling side, which we'll go through in the next episode. Now, what Wall Street Bay Street, Canadian Wall Street, fears is a short squeeze. So what happens there is, now let's say you're confident it's going to drop from $10 to whatever, but something else happens, and by some miracle this thing just kicks ass, and all of a sudden the share price starts climbing. Where's it stop? Nobody knows. Who knows what's going on? Like I said, can go to infinity. It's limitless. The share price can skyrocket. This is bad for short sellers because, like I said, every short sell is a future purchase. You have no choice but to return it unless it goes bankrupt. And this happened in, maybe you heard about it, GameStop. Yes, I bought into GameStop. Yes, I still hold GameStop. Pay no attention to what you've heard in the financial media. I'm going to tell you the real story behind this in a future episode, but that's what happened there. It literally, within the space of 2-3 months, went from $2 a share to up over $500 a share. That's really bad for short sellers. And again, like I said, we're going to go through that and tell you what exactly happened. So anyways, that's the basics of short sell. You can make money on the way down, but the caveat is it can go way up and bury you. So hold tight. We'll show you how they counterfeit, duplicate, multiply shares with short selling. All right, everybody, here we go. So you might remember my box, my stock market box. We have the stock market. We got the central holding firm in Canada. That's called the CDS, Canadian Depository for Securities. In the States, that would be called the DTCC, the Depository Trust Company, something or other. These other boxes are institutions where you, me, and everybody else buys and sells at. These are our individual accounts. This is what's held for them in trust at the CDS. This guy up here is our short seller. We're going to show you how duplication, multiplication, counterfeiting of shares occurs. So, like I said in the example, this guy thinks that the price of the stock, whatever it is, Tesla, you name it, is going to go down. Sells his shares. They're all gone. Goes to 100. Again, remember our continuous net settlement. Things settle out the next day, but so he sells his shares. This guy over here picks them up. So minus 100. This goes down 100. Goes up 100 here. Goes up 100 here. Everybody's happy. This guy's really confident that the share price is going to go down. Contacts his brokerage. Says, hey, got any shares I can short sell? Yep, we got some for you. You meet the criteria. Absolutely, we'll lend those to you. He says, like, perfect, I'll buy it. I'll take them. Short sells them. So he borrows the shares, sells them. That now goes to zero. They end up somewhere else. This guy down here, he picked them up. There's now 300 there. You know, things are okay. This guy over here, he's happy with the gains he's made. He made 20% on his stock or whatever, so he's gonna unload them. He's okay with that. So he sells his, goes to zero. This goes down to 100. Just so happens this guy over here picked him up. So now he's at 300, and here it's at 200. Now, as you can see, when we first started, we had 200 in each box at the central holding. Now we got 200, 400, we got 300 here and 100, so still 800. But now look what happens when you start going around the ring. 100, 200, 300, 500, 600, 800. Oh yeah, sorry, I missed a step. Bear with me. Anyways, this guy, he's still confident it's going to go down. Asks again, do you got any more shares? Yeah, we just happen to have 200 more on the books. Says, fantastic, I'll take them. Borrows those, short sells. This goes up to 400. Each of these guys picked up 100 shares, the way it settled out. So, you know what? They're good. So now let's see. The math should work this time. So now we got 200, 400, 500, 700, 800, 1100. So now we got 1100 on the outside, 4, 5, 8. Still only 800 in the middle. Now you can see where this duplication thing is starting to happen. That's a pretty simple explanation here. Now watch what happens. So this guy, he's a big short seller. He loves to short sell. He opens up an account at another firm right here. Big on short selling. So he says, "Hey, you got any shares I can short sell?" They say, "Yeah, absolutely. We got 300 on the books. Perfect. I'll take them." Takes those full 300, short sells. The way it settles out, just so happens this guy here, still confident, he picks them up. 600, 300, still 800. Starting that up on the outside. Again, same dude. Got any shares I can short sell? Yep, absolutely. All right, I'll take them. Takes those, short sells. Bam, this guy picks them up. Bam. Okay, let's do the quick math again. 4, 8. Nothing here. 2, 4, 8. 1,000, 1,100, 1,700 shares when only 800 should exist. So you can see where this is going. It starts adding up quick, and this is just individuals doing this. Wait until you see what happens when institutions get involved. So this is the basic idea of how the short selling works by borrowing shares. Now, can you sell something you don't own? No, I can't. Why does it happen here? Crime. So stay with me for the next video when we talk about the institutional short selling and where shit gets really out of hand.